Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If I asked you how your day was, I hope the answer is amazing. And you read the title. I'm doing a story time this time. You know, a little bit different to what I used to do, but let me tell you, this isn't your ordinary story. This is a a story of embarrassment, arrogance, pride, and a huge sack of nuts. Not in that order. But sit back, relax, and enjoy the story of how I asked a girl out for a dance without knowing how to dance. It was a cold Saturday night in June. So it's winter where I am. And in June, it was a Saturday night. It was like 8 p.m. Cold outside. My parents and we were going to a alumni university thing. It was like... So my dad's university's alumni association has put like to a get together down in like a ballroom with like food and music and it's like an old people's prom basically. And we were dressed smart casual. I had a black suit on, white undershirt, no tie, it's no button, and it's casual smart basically. And I had one goal in mind going in here. I wanted to ask a girl for a dance. Now, I've never done anything like this before, but holy shit was I arrogant. I was so cocky, and I don't know where the arrogance came from. It's from self-improvement. It's like, I do meditation, I work out, I'm successful academically. I had so much arrogance, and maybe you can decide for yourself if that was a good thing. So I don't know. I was just cocky as shit, and we get out of the car. It's freezing outside. We walk to the ballroom, I suppose. It's in this hotel. And I go in, and in the reception, there's a friend of mine. Now, I met this guy in 2 other days, so I don't know him that much. He's 2 years older than me. He's in university doing computer science. We'll call him Big R. R. And he's a very vital point to this story. That's why I've introduced him. But, we shake hands. We're not that close. I know I know a bit about him, not that much, but, we're not that close. And we go into the reception. We give our tickets in. We go in. We sit down at our table. I'm excited. I'm looking out for a girl to ask for a dance. And what do you know? In front of me, just like walking past me, is just this beautiful girl in this pink dress with a friend who's in like this silver dress. But like this girl in the pink dress is the one. Like I've made my target, boys. And alright, I say she's just this really pretty girl, and we'll call her Pink from now on because I can't come up with names. So Pink is in a table next to ours. It's like diagonal to ours, not too far away. And I was like, holy shit, I know who I'm gonna ask. I'm pumped. I'm like, I'm gonna do this today. I've never done anything like this before. And I think some of the arrogance came in the fact that I will never meet this woman again. So, that's a big plus. That's a massive, massive plus. And after a few minutes, Big R comes to sit down next to me. He's in the same table as me. And he's just done with his reception stuff, and I'm still pumped. And I ask him, hey, Big R, are you gonna ask anyone for a dance? And he like looks at me with this smirk. He's like, why would I do that? And I was like, okay. And then he goes, are you gonna ask anyone for a dance? And I'm like, yes, I'm gonna ask someone for a dance. And then he's like, oh, did you find someone who you're gonna ask? Like he's like, holy shit, what the fuck is wrong with this child? I'm 17, by the way, when this happened. And I show him, I like how guys are like, check that girl out, but like don't look. And I just pointed at her, and he instantly fucking looked. He like a fucking owl. He like darted her. I was like, don't look like that. And like it was like, oh, and then he's like, okay. And Big R said, oh, she's 16. I was like, oh, how do you know that? So, but they've like met before, and they went on like a trip before. And I was like, oh, nice, because if I didn't know that, she could have been like 12, and that would never been good. So it's like, oh, nice, that's good. Now I'm trying to plot a plan, right? I'm still excited, and I ask Big R for a deal. Now we just had like a small conversation about like school and crushes and stuff, and so like when we're chilling, and I ask him for a deal, and this deal is what's like, if it weren't for this deal, I wouldn't have done what I done. And I told him, if I ask her for a dance, you, Big R, you have to ask someone for a dance as well. And I gave out my hand for a handshake, and this dude, he doesn't, we're boys. He doesn't want to like put that challenge down, so he smirked, grabbed my hand, and said, "Deal." Now I'm in the game. There's no turning back. There's no way I'm leaving this ballroom without a dance. But things didn't go my way. There was one time I could have asked, but I just sat there. I was like, should I go? Okay, I'm gonna go now. 3, 2, 1. But I failed. And so this happened like 3 times. So I failed to ask her 3 times. And by the way, if for context, there's like a music blowing everywhere. Like everyone, like it's just music everywhere. There's like a dance floor in the middle and like ballroom. I'm trying to like give out context, and it's just music blasting out. And I failed 3 times. Like I couldn't like push myself to go up, and that just pissed me off. I'm not excited anymore. I'm just sad. I'm like guilt trip. I'm like, bro, come on. How are you gonna be so pumped and so confident and not do that? So my morale is just broken. I'm just sad. I'm wallowing on my seat, but I'm committed. I'm like, no way I'm leaving this without asking her. So I'm like, it's imagine me just like eyeballing her every 2 minutes or 1 minute, saying like, if I could ask for like a solid, I'm not like for like a solid hour. It was just me like looking, like eyeballing her. And so I failed. It's 3 times, and I wanna go for a little walk, clear my head. I asked Big R as well. We go for a little walk. We go to the reception, and I'm just like, bro, come on. Like there was a mirror there, and I was like looking at myself. I'm like, bro, really? Are you really can't? Are you a pussy? I'm just wallowing in my own sadness, and we stroll for a bit. We go back into the ballroom, and the Big R's not there. And so I was like, and I see them. I see Pink and the silver dress girl. So Pink and Silver, I suppose. And they're just walking, right? And I was like, fuck this. If it isn't now, it is never. All right? If I do not commit to asking her now, I'm never gonna fucking do it. Because I failed 3 times before. Like, if this isn't it, it's never happening. And so I made the fucking decision to ask her. She's like 10 meters away from me. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, for that 10 meters, for like 20 seconds, I was just like standing there. Like, I did not know what I was doing. I was just fucking lost. So imagine like a child lost in like the fucking grocery store. I'm just like looking around. And fuck. And when I was going up, like, I walked very slow, by the way. I walked very slow, and dude, my heart's just pumping. My heart's pumping like insane. I think I started to sweat. And the music's blowing up, but like the music's kind of fading away. It's like a fucking movie. The music's fading away. My heart's pumping. I'm nervous. I'm scared. Everything could go wrong. I've never done this before. And there was actually this funny moment where I was literally like a meter away from. By the way, I do not know this girl. There's nothing between us. And 1 meter away, and between her and I was like this woman who just like stood there for no reason. She was blocking my attack, and I had to like swivel around her, if that made sense. I was like, can you like move for a bit? And I went up to my heart. It's just, everything's working against me. It was like, there was just like resistance pulling me back, but I just marched forward, scared shitless. And I go, hey, like I'm screaming, by the way. So it's like, hey, could I ask you for a dance? Like, I just shouted that at her. She didn't hear it the first she didn't hear it the first time because like the music's too fucking loud. But like, here's the thing, right? At that point in time, all the nervousness, all the scared, it's all gone. No heart pumping. I'm like chilling now. It's like, cause like I did the hard part. I've done the deal. I haven't succeeded, but like I succeeded in doing what I wanted to do. And now, oh no, my mindset shifts instantly back to that arrogant, cocky, fucking self-improvement piece of shit. And holy shit. And yeah, so I asked her, hey, could I ask you for a dance? And he's like, what? Like, cause she can't fucking hear me over the music. And I ask her again, and she just looks at me. I'm like, could I ask you for a dance? Like, all biting my words, and like she just looks at me with this like embarrassment almost. And her friend, absolute W friend, by the way, her friend Silva, we'll call her Silva, she's like, yes, she would like a dance. Like, everything's going my way. So like, that's fueling my confidence. She's like, oh yes, she would like to dance. She would like to dance. And they like looked at each other for like a second, like she's scared as shit. I don't know why. But like, let's not look at the details. And they look at each other. She's embarrassed, and then Silva is like, go. And Pink goes, I don't know how to dance. You know, she's embarrassed. She scares no one. No one's ever fucking done this before, clearly. And I don't know why I said this, but I shouted, neither do I. Like, I don't think that would have helped in my case. But like, by the way, there were people already on like the dance floor, so it wasn't like just gonna be me, you know. I just wanted to say that. And there was just like this back and forth. Like, she said, go, just go for a dance. And it's like, no, I don't know how to dance. And oh, okay, this is the most embarrassing fucking thing I've ever done in my entire life, by the way. So I go between her, Pink, and the dance floor. All right, the dance floor is like a few meters away, maybe 3 meters away is the dance floor. All right, so I'm facing her. The dance floor is behind me, and oh my fucking god, the arrogance in me. I put out my hand. Like, you know, have you fucking watched Aladdin? When Aladdin comes up to the fucking princess and says like, do you trust me? That was fucking me. I put out my hand, and I was like, and I just had this fucking confident, arrogant piece of shit grin on me. Like, come on, let's go. Like, I don't know where this fucking came from, by the way. And I just stood there for 5 seconds. Like, she's like getting more embarrassed, if that makes sense. It's like, how do I say? It's like it's a very cute embarrassment, right? It's like, oh my fucking god, this guy's going to this fucking length to get a dance with me. And it's like, it's very fun, and like her friend is like beaming with happiness because I just did something fucking weird or something, and it didn't work. And then after like I should have fucking left by then. By the way, when she was like said I didn't know how to dance, I should have fucking left. But no, I didn't think I came in strong enough. And after like 5 seconds of standing there like a complete fucking buffoon, all right, for 5 seconds, I'm like, all right, that's all right. And because this is my first time, all right, this is not me coping, by the way. It will definitely sound like me coping, but because it was my first time, I didn't know when to like fucking leave. So I was like, oh, what's your name? And like, we just started having this conversation. Like, just after everything I just fucking pulled, we just started having this normal human being conversation where I asked her name and school and like the studies. We had a small conversation there. And then afterwards, she was like, you know, everything's cooling down. You know, I'm not excited anymore. I'm chilling. And a little sad that I didn't get the dance because I was like so sure I'd get it. And she goes, all right, I'm gonna go back now. And she was like, oh, it was lovely to meet you then. I was like, oh, it was lovely to meet you too. And like, she went, and I slow walked. I was in this, it was like a melancholic proud. It was like, oh, I didn't meet my expectation, but I fucking did it. Right? It was a melancholic pride. And I go back, I see Big R with just this big, massive fucking smile on his face. Like, this proud smile. Like his son just did like 20 push-ups for the first time or something. And he like pulls out his hand to shake me, like to dap me up. I dap him up, and he was like, well done. Like I said, like he saw everything. I didn't even know he was watching. He saw everything, and he was like, well done. That was some big balls. And yeah, I was like, yeah, she was like embarrassed or like scared, like she didn't know how to dance. I don't know if I'm coping. Maybe she like just didn't fucking like me. Like clearly you can't really fucking judge someone by meeting them for like a minute. But like I was just in this proud sorrow. And we go back near the reception. There's a sofa. We sit down, we talk about the fucking, just like, we just talk about life. Talk about life. He also wanted to do YouTube, and like he showed me his channel. It was cringe as shit, just like mine. And we just talked and it was a very chill moment. And I looked at him and I was like, thank you so much for the deal, because if it wasn't for that deal, I wouldn't have asked, and I wouldn't have been so proud of myself. And he actually wanted to, by the way. He didn't like back out of the deal. He was like, all right, I'll ask Silver, so that the silver girl, so that I could ask the pink one again. But I was like, no, I'm not doing that again. I don't want to fucking bother her. Fucking hell. And so like he would have asked. I genuinely believe he would have asked if it was like for the brotherhood of it. And this actually isn't the end of the story. It was like 11 p.m. now. It's been like 4 hours since I've been here. And you know, we eat, we talk about more about life. We talked about high school crushes, you know. He's in uni, by the way. He's in uni. And it's all ending. We're all going home. Pretty sure the girls went home. It was big army. We were like cleaning stuff up in the ballroom. And I had a prom in a week from now. I have a prom at the last day of school, in the last day of term. From a week from now. This is like year 12. This is the final year of high school. And I wanted to make another deal with him. And this new deal was, I will ask the girl I like, my crush, for a dance at formal. Again, I've talked to her like once, but I will ask her for a dance at prom. We call it formal here, so we'll ask her at formal, and he has to ask for a date from a girl he likes at university. And without a flinch, gave out his hand, and he said deal. And because this fucking video is going for far too long, that is a story for another time. So if you have any stories like this where it's just like, I don't know, any fucking stories that you're like proud of, do let me know in the comments. And I think the learning lesson here is fucking do some dumb shit. Not drugs, don't do drugs, but like do things that are outside of your comfort zone. Because if it weren't for that night, I wouldn't have asked in prom, informal. I wouldn't have done that. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have the mindset I have today on, you know, I suppose life. So do some dumb shit, and suppose that's it. Thank you so much for listening to my shit story. I hope you learned something out of it, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.